People today are really beginning to synthesize religion and spiritual traditions in a way that's taking on a new character. And this is having the impact of actually transforming the dialogue about religion in a way that increases global understanding. Because when someone actually practices more than one religion or understands more than one faith, that creates a different kind of platform for creating religious harmony and peace around the world. And I think there's also a growing recognition that the spiritual and the sacred are not the domain only of religious and spiritual people, but even that secular people have an appreciation for those things. And I'm particularly interested in how spirituality can be applied pragmatically, how we can use it to impact some of our most pressing world problems. You know, I'm of the belief that the spiritual realm is as lawful as the material realm, and that the more we understand about the deepest aspects of religion, the better we'll be able to address problems that have seemed intractable up to now. There are lots of examples of people who have already done this in their change work. I think about people like Sister Chan Kong, a Buddhist nun, or Immaculée Ilibagiza, a Rwandan survivor of their genocide. I think about people like Pregsgavender, a South African activist and member of parliament. I think about people like Wangari Maathai. All of these are people who have used spirituality to make big change in the world. And I like to convey the idea that anyone can do that kind of work. And I think that having interreligious dialogue helps us figure that out together. You know, there's a lot of ways I can talk about how women participate in religion and spirituality, but the one that I'm really most interested in is how women integrate religion and spirituality into their everyday practices, whether it's family life, whether it's the way that they nurture their communities, whatever those communities may be, whether it's the ways in which they take care of themselves to give them strength to keep doing their work, whatever it is. You know, I think that what women often do is that they don't separate spirituality from everyday life or from the rest of their being. And because of that, there's a certain power that they carry throughout their day and all of their work. You know, in particular, I'm interested in how sort of the so-called everyday women of the world do that. You know, there are so many struggles that women face. Something has to help women get through those struggles. And I think that it's often spirituality that does that. So in my own work, I've really focused on how do women use spirituality and sometimes religion to make the world a better place. You know, it's not that all women do it the same way, but I think there is something distinctive about the perspectives that women bring. And often it's quiet, often it's unannounced, but I think that many women actually do just infuse spirituality into everyday life in practical and quiet ways. You know, I think that because women have historically been the caretakers, women have more of a tendency to be accepting of people in general. And when that tendency gets carried over into religious or spiritual context, we see the same tendency. You know, it's not that women are without prejudice, but I think that whether it's because women have been socialized this way or because women are naturally this way, I won't answer that debate, but either way, I think that women have a tendency to bring the desire to make community work into any setting, and that men, for whatever reason, whether it's because of how they're socialized or whether it's because of they're naturally that way, they bring a different kind of spirit. And so I think that there needs to be balance between women's and men's contributions. And in interreligious dialogue, it's unfortunate that there aren't always equal numbers of participants between women and men, but I think women bring something very valuable and needed to interfaith dialogue.